Hey there, real gamers, and all you gatekeepers out there. Retro Rob here, and welcome to Retro Rob Plays Everything. Today, I've got something that I'm pretty sure is one of a kind, at least here on YouTube. I know that 500 of them were made, but anyway, I couldn't find any of the actual console of this on YouTube at all. So this might be the only one you'll see on YouTube. Anyway, you read the title, so, prepare to be somewhat disappointed or underwhelmed. But anyway, it is the Reading Rainbow Edition Ouya. I know, it looks like nothing special. The special's inside the box. So, a little bit of backstory on this. There was a Kickstarter campaign to bring back Reading Rainbow. I think it was in 2014. And Ouya got together with them and basically offered up a special version of the Ouya that was blue and white, had 16 gigs of storage on it as opposed to the base 8 that most of them have, had the updated controllers, things like that. So the Kickstart itself was overwhelmingly successful, and then Ouya basically reneged on what they were going to give people. The good news, I guess, is the Ouyas were still signed by Levar Burton from both Reading Rainbow and Star Trek. Flexible guy, I'm guessing. Anyway, but it was neither 16 gig nor was it the special color that they had promised. They cited that they couldn't do that color in like a 500 lot, which... A quick correction, only 250 of these were ever made, at least according to Polygon. Can totally trust them, right? Number one, I think you would have looked that up before you promised to provide it for this Kickstart. And the other thing being, I know you can do lots of 500s of things. But anyway, I guess maybe they just couldn't afford it, and that's how things went. And people ended up getting this. But as a bonus, they did include an extra controller, which is nice because the controllers are actually the fairly decent model. There's been a couple models of Ouya controllers. Most of them are pretty good that are still in circulation today, to be honest. But some of them, the early ones, had real problems. I'll do an Ouya thing someday. I'm gonna note that this one has not been hacked yet. I'm still kind of figuring out whether I want to do that. I probably will, but I'm probably going to do it with my own server instead of doing it with like a public server that I have to worry about maybe them going down someday. One last note before I get going on this one. I did want to mention that I am still looking for the Clear Ouya, which was the developers edition. So if any of you developers out there have one, hit me up. Let me know. Maybe we can trade, or I can buy it off you, or whatever. But anyway, if you've got one, let me know. The other one I'm looking for is, of course, the Christmas edition, which was a white Ouya. That way I'll have all the variants, because I don't know. I'm nuts. Anyway, let's go take a look at this thing.
Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, or I will go Skynet on your butt.
Let's start it as we always do with the front of the box. There it is, the Ouya. Yeah, nothing real special about it. Turn to the side, you have the usual Ouya logo. And spinning her around, you can see that the little box inside this box has big dreams. A new kind of console. Plug this little box into your big bad TV and boom, your living room just became a living, breathing library of hundreds of games. I think there were about 1,000, actually more than 1,000 released for it. Anyway, that can be downloaded and played instantly for both new and known game developers. Better yet, new games and apps are added every month. With Ouya, you and your friends can easily become creators and make games for the big screen and beautiful 1080p HD. In addition to the hundreds of games available today and growing, Ouya also delivers some of your favorite media apps to the big screen, so you can stream your favorite shows, movies, and music. Don't try that now. Actually, to be honest, without doing some pretty major surgery, well, not major, but some moderate surgery, you're not going to get it to run anything at all. But don't worry, I'm going to show you what the menu looks like, just for fun, because I have an Ouya that I've already hacked. All right, I don't think there's anything really useful on the side. Let's see. We've got the console controller. I don't know. Microwaving capabilities. I'm guessing Wi-Fi. Cable, Bluetooth, 8 gigs of memory. That's storage, by the way. Access. It only has, I think, a gig of actual like RAM, and I think that was one of the big problems with it, performance-wise, is it just did not have enough system RAM. I mean, even by then, a lot of Android phones had 2, even 4 sometimes. All right, and here, sorry about that, is the Ouya controller. We're not going to unbox this because it's, you know, sealed, and I want to keep this controller sealed, but we are going to, of course, show you the Ouya, so no worries there. But anyway, go ahead, stare. And this was the slightly redesigned controller, which I hear works quite a bit better. That said, after the first generation of them that had the really bad lag, I honestly didn't have any problems with any of the later ones anyway, but hey, whatever. All right, let's slide open the box. And unlike some of the earlier boxes, there's actually a real box inside here that can open. And hold on a second. Here we go. Dropped in there. She is. I know, breathtaking, isn't it? You might be wondering what's up with this angle, but in a second, it'll be clear. Alright, first thing we'll do is take a look at the console itself. There is Levar's autograph. Right side. Notice that it's black, which they started releasing these, I think, in 2014. The fully black one. They're slightly revised. And, you know, you got the usual. You got USB, you got Ethernet, power supply, and then you've got micro USB and HDMI, and that's all they got on them. You can put a hub on it though if you'd like more ports. I'm gonna keep this thing wrapped up, of course, because I don't want to mess it up. All right, let's take a look at the controller real quick. I'm not gonna unwrap it, so I can't show you some of the changes they made, but one of the changes is these are now plastic, and they don't have the problem where sometimes the holes were cut a little bit off, and they would get stuck behind the panel. These are still both removable, a couple of AA batteries. My understanding is that they improved the controller quite a bit as far as latency, and I know that you'd get some if you had more than one controller, so apparently that problem's reduced. There's also, I guess, a little bit less dead zone on these. I haven't ever tried one of the new controllers, so I don't really know. Those of you who are not familiar with these, you know, standard Xbox like dual stick configuration, it's got a passable D-pad. It's Ouya is the buttons, which drives me nuts because I'm used to A being, you know, the activate button. It's almost always O. But sometimes they get flipped depending on the game, which is kind of annoying. Looking at the top, you got the usual bumpers, you've got triggers, they're pretty good. The early models did used to squeak, so like I found that about half of them squeaked. They'd make a squeaking noise. When I show you the interface, you might hear my original Ouya controller squeaking in the background. Also had a touchpad here. So that's before PlayStation started doing that. So that's way ahead of its time. That's basically it with the controller. Let's take that away, see what's inside the box. You did get a set of batteries for the controller. There's a mains adapter, AC adapter. This one says K-Tech on it. There's been a couple different adapters for the Ouya. I've got a different one on my other one. One HDMI cable, and This is interesting because I don't think my original Ouya had this. There is an Ouya manual. Look at that. Printed out in black and white. It tells you how to connect your Ouya. And it's in several different languages. Not super exciting. If you're interested in what the inside of the box looks like, it looks like that. Way to go, Rob. Looks like that. There we go. Much better. So nice little containers. And I don't think that was in the original Ouya one either. I think it was just an open space. Wait a minute. Wait. We can find out. Hold on. Okay, so here we have the original one. And yeah, see, there was no compartments in the original one. It did come with a manual, though. I didn't remember that. So there's the manual. That's the one from my brown one. So they did make some improvements in the packaging as well, which is, I guess, exciting. Kinda. And if you're interested in what the original controllers look like, here is the original. This is the brown one. I also have the aluminum one. And these actually do have metal here. And that one does not, as I mentioned earlier. You can also see that there's a little bit of a circle here, like a little recess for your thumb and, well, your thumb, basically. And the earlier controllers didn't have that either. And there you have it. The ill-fated Reading Rainbow Ouya. But it is signed by Levar Burton, which is pretty cool. So, what should I do with this one, you guys think? Should I hack it? I'm considering it, but not 100% sure on that. But that said, real quick, I'll just show you what the Ouya's menu looks like in 2022 as I'm recording this. Alright folks, here's the main menu of the Ouya Sursa 2022. My Ouya, as any Ouya has to be if you want it to run, has been hacked. And I am using a community-provided server. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to ouya.world, and I'll put a link to that down below. Pretty much everything still works. There's a few games that are missing. Some won't activate, but for the most part, it works. If you're interested, you can also add the Google Play Store on these things nowadays. Although, I don't know. There's still new games that run on it, come to find out. That's another thing you can find out at ouya.world. The server's not like super fast or anything, but it works. It gets you around. You can download new games. So, you know, you can go through the best rated. Look at that. And you got all the emulators and everything else on here. I don't do any emulation on here. It is actually a pretty decent emulator. I used to emulate a lot on it. It's just I've got so many of these emulation devices that it's just, you know, not needed. Anyway, there's some games, stuff I wanted to do. It'll do. I could just do free download. And there we go. It'll start downloading. And whenever it's done, it'll let me know. And there is still a whole lot of games. I mean, just a little bit of everything out here. I've got some other videos that I've done with some actual gameplay in them. I'm not really going to bother on this one because I tend to do these on my live stream anyway. So if you want to check those out, you can see those elsewhere on my channel. Anyway, that's about it. This isn't the actual Ouya that I was showing during this video. This is my brown one. What's really sad is the one that I kickstarted. I don't have, and I think that would have my name on it because I was an original Kickstarter, so it would have had my name on it. It's pretty sad. All right, well, that's about it. If you want to see more videos on the Ouya, let me know in the comments down below. If there's a certain game you want to see, same thing. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, found it educational or useful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more. I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.